to it, let me just share today's session so we can start. Okay. So I'm just going to find a way to share again. All right. So I'm going to have a new share. Good. So can we, just to confirm, I hope we can all see entrepreneurship and AI bootcamp day too, right? Is it clear to all of us?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Uh, good. So yesterday we talked about introducing artificial intelligence and what it is, and we also looked at if our ability to use the technology for our businesses. So having discussed that on what AI is, and what are some of the types of AI, and what are the methods in which we apply this technology to our businesses. I'd like today to go ahead and just have a view of the applications of AI in businesses, and we're going to focus on specific uh, examples in which SMEs and other small businesses can quickly pick up the technology and start using it. So we're going to look at some of the use cases, but so let us just start from an overall view of artificial intelligence in business and how it's doing globally. So we can start by the biggest penetration or the biggest um, implementation of AI in business has been in robotics and automation. The ability for us to make robots that assist us in automating multiple tasks. So we have it at 68%, is perhaps the most common implementation of artificial intelligence. Um, and I want to add here that when we speak of robotics, we do not just speak of the hardware robotics, the physical robots that we have. It's not only that, we also have bots. We also have robots that automate our tasks for us. So a good example would be a business has with a personal assistant, with a personal bot assistant is one example of you know automation and robotics as AI. We also have other instances in which we would automate. Let's say we have in a CRM, customer relationship management system, you have a specific automation process that happens when there's multiple data being collected from customers. Let's say customer profiling. That is a form of automation that comes with AI. So that has been so popular, of course, as pushed forward with e-commerce that leverages other manufacturing and packaging entities that will need more automation and robotics, and also other software companies that want to automate their different tasks of their customers. So that is stands at 68%. The second one that has the biggest penetration in businesses so far is pattern and insights. This one includes AI that is able to understand patterns and interpret them, then give us insights on what we need to be learning, give us a prediction on after learning from data. So these ones are also the second most common trend in AI in business so far, because most organizations are starting to realize the importance of data. They're starting to see data as a value point rather than, you know, rather than just an occurrence of their interaction. Like, oh, we've had an interaction with the customer, and now we have their data, and that's it. So right now, companies and other organizations are seeing the value of using data to discover, to uncover more insights and make predictions. So that is why we are at 52%. Then the last one that the last the last area that we see so far is the engagement technology. Engagement technology include things like chatbot that if this is AI that is trying to create a form of interaction between human beings and computers in order to complete a transaction. And the reason why it it has it stands at 18% is simply because it is very it is very difficult for machine to understand context and how we speak. I spoke of an example of when you and I say uh, tukutane Kanairo, let's meet in Nairobi, and someone else says tukutane Nairobi. Both of us communicating will understand that Kanairo and Nairobi are just the same thing. They mean the same thing, but it has a certain nuance or context that the machine might not understand as much. So that is why it's still at 18% so far. So yesterday we spoke of different types of AI and we talked of the subsets of AI, but I'd like us as people who are looking to people like SMEs and people who are looking to get into business to focus on machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. Why are we picking on machine learning as opposed to any other like deep learning? One, because it's the most popular form of AI. It's the AI that learns directly from data, and it's the most popular one. It has many implementations and it's easier to pick it up. So this pushes us to reconsider it as the best choice for any business or any business that wants a a quick and fast implementation of this technology. The second thing that is critical with machine learning is it is the most useful AI to us. There is the most useful AI to a company like Google. There's the most useful AI to us as SMEs. So us as SMEs would ideally struggle with the bill of coming up with a deep learning system because it needs lots of data. It needs uh, it needs lots of infrastructure, something that SMEs do not have, right? Something that clearly SMEs do not have or cannot afford just at this time. So then the third, but the most also another very important factor is that you know machine learning rewards us way faster than any other AI. So to implement other intelligence systems, artificial intelligence systems, it will take us so much time and resources. And we might, for a goal that will easily be achieved by machine learning. So we'd rather spend our dollar as an SME on something that rewards our goals faster. It is faster and easier to implement, right? So from this session moving on forward, so if you hear me speak of ML, just know I'm referring to machine learning, and that is what we're going to use for this. So how does this machine learning work since it's focused on data directly? So our machine learning works is we collect information, we collect data rather, we collect data together. And when we collect data, the next thing or the next step that follows the next step that follows is we are able to take all that data and transform it. What we mean by transforming data is simply means that when we collect data, let's say from our computers or from our customer records, we put it together. We try to put them in a way that is easy for us to use, that is easy for us to conduct machine learning. So the transformation part is usually just us making sure that data is all right, making sure we don't have errors or anything that might not, you might hinder our accuracy in creating this AI system. So that is the transformation part. The next step is now when we introduce this data to the system. Now we train the machine from data. We teach it. Now we show, this is where we are giving an example of, we show the machine apples, um, and we allow it to pick apples or no apples so far, so that the next time we put it there, it's able to know what apples are. Same way, when it comes to our business, if we have uh, complaints, customer complaints written to us through mail, and we have all those records together, what we are able to do is we train the machine to say, be able to identify in our customer complaints, be able to pick out the main things. Let's say power not working, um, systems down. If this sort of words occur in our customer statements, then know that this one is something critical. Go ahead and inform a technician. Or if these are the words that you see, put them together and be able to provide a prediction on any power failures or any failures that comes from the customer, that happens or occurs on the customer's side, right? So having said that, there is this section now when after we've trained the machine, we now let it, we now put it in the real world. The same way when we take our kids to school, finally we have to let them be. We have to let them live their lives and now make decisions on their own. It's the same way we train, we collect information that we need, we take the AI to school, we're able to introduce it to data, make it learn, and finally we let it be. We let it go out the same way we let a kid go out. So at this point, the machine has already been trained and it's able to now, one, provide us insights and allow us to make decisions. So suddenly, now that we've trained a customer, a machine learning customer profiling system, it's able to learn from different customers and their needs and put them together. It's able to even give us a forecast on what would likely happen if this customer is buying from us, or if this customer complaints are getting more and more, right? So that is how machine learning is operational. That is how it works, right? So I want us to go through some use cases where we have machine learning implementation for businesses. We want to try and go through examples and scenarios in which machine learning and enables businesses to achieve its goals. So the first one is we're going to look at how does uh, how does a business improve customer traffic themselves. you know how does a business attract more people to itself. The second one, and when I say people, it's just customers, because customers, for the most part, are one of the most valuable people, players in a business, especially for an SME that is trying to become a big corporate or a big organization, or just achieve its business goals and success. So the next one is sorry, the next one is acquiring customers for your business. We want to go and see how AI enables you to acquire customers for your business. The third thing we're going to look at how AI is able to keep your customers engaged with your business, with your value proposition and what you're selling. And finally, we're going to look at how, you know, how do you market your business with AI? You know, what are the opportunities or chances, and what is the role of AI in current marketing? So let us start by improving traffic to your business. So yesterday we looked at an example of if I had a blog. The example was if I had a blog and I wanted more views. If I had a product and I wanted people to come to see my product more often, right? How do I get them to use this product often? So the best way is we have existing AI tools that are able to match up your content. Is able to match up with anyone who's preparing content. So if you have your blog that is supposed to help you attract, you know, businesses to yourself. Let's say you are a life coach and you want more people to be viewing your website, to be visiting it. Um, there are two things that have to happen. One, your page or your content should be attractive to, should be attractive or should be focused on a certain niche, right? Then the second thing is Google and other search engines you have to be their favorite. To easily find you, Google has to make sure it is easy for you to be found, right? So what AI is able to do is able to do two things. It's able to give you um, suggestions or content or key points on what your customers are looking at. So if you have written 7 you know, blog posts so far, and as a life coach and you want people to come view it, what the AI is able to do, it's able to give you information or a summary of the content in which people have been looking at more than the other, right? So that means you might perhaps try to center your topics around, let's say, giving people clarity or purpose, as opposed to saying, um, making you a winner, right? Those are two different words that can be used to mean the same thing, but there's one that your users will be more attracted to. And AI is able to track human interaction with your system, human interaction with your blog post that you sent out. So you're able to understand what are the most important factors in my content, right? So you get your human team together, you get yourself together as an SME or your team as as in this example using a life coach. So you get all your content together so that you know how to express it to your customers. Another thing when it comes to the most important part that AI can really help us is making sure you know, you're easily found in Google. Your page rank has improved and it's easy to find you. So we have existing AI tools like HubSpot SEO, search engine optimization. What it's able to help you do, it helps you discover and rank topics that people are searching for. So if I am a life coach, it's able to show you um, it's able to show you different things or topics that are related to being a life coach. And now you easily, you know, it's easy for you to be discovered. So here are the topics, and here is how it's ranked according to Google, according to how people are making searches. So significantly improves how you are viewed. It gives you more information on what you should be focused at. The next part is what this type of AI tool is able to do. It's able to provide you with suggestions for topics and topic clusters and related subjects. So one thing that you should learn about ability for you to improve or to be found, to be Googled and to be found is we have topics that have clusters. Let's say, as a life coach, I touch on topics around psychology, and that means most of my topics are in clusters. Let's say um, hopelessness. Let's say topics on depression and anxiety. Those are topics that can be put into a cluster of psychology, and it can be in other related subjects. So what the AI tool is able to do is it's able to compare or look through your content, and what are the keywords you're using so much in your content, and what cluster does it belong to. Once it's able to understand the topic cluster that's able to that your topics are based at, then it's able to give you suggestions on how do you compare when people search for you, and how can you get better. So it gives you a score, an accuracy score of how you can get better at clustering your 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 topics to a way in which people can easily find it. So that means the more it's able to do that, the more Google makes you available to you, the more people are able to view your blog, to find your content, and allows you to sell to them and get customers. The third thing that such an AI tool is able to do for us, it's able to integrate with all the other content tools to help you create a well-rounded content strategy. What do we mean by that? It simply means um, if you have a blog and you have an email, right? If you keep sending people a newsletter, a marketing newsletter on their emails to tell them, what products or tools you're using, what such an AI tool is able to do is it's able to compare um, the content you're sending on mail versus the content that you've put on the website, and how do they match or how do they relate, and what are the chances of you winning if you keep using this language or topics that are in a certain cluster. So that informs you to be able to make your content strategy or make a decision around your strategy. And that is a tool that is existing. So you can imagine what can you do with such a tool in order to improve your business as an SME. Perhaps you should be in a position to when you put your products in a digital form and you advertise it, and you have a website with a homepage there, you are able to track as much as clicks on your website. Where are people scrolling and wanting to look for? Are they looking at your head? Are they looking at the video you've posted more than the other? Right? So that you know what is important or relevant to people when they are looking for you. Then you make sure you are at most available to that specific customer, that potential customer that you can convert into a customer. So let us just move to the second section. We've just moved from how AI can improve the traffic or access to you and your business as an SME. The second section is you know acquiring customers for your business, right? How can AI help you acquire customers for your business, right? So this is also something else that we've we've talked about before, just now, on ability for you to understand how people are interacting with your content or with your digital space in terms of let's say a website, your digital presence, your website or your page or your blog, right? So just imagine we've done the whole part, which is we've been able to improve, how people can find you. Now it's easier for people to find you. You have an accuracy score, search engine accuracy score of 80%, 90%. It's very easy for you to find you in various topics as a life coach or as a small business. Now that people are on your website, can you convert them? Can you make them your customers? And how can you make them your customers, right? So uh, this is the point where now you have the digital presence, you've improved how people can search you, and now people can find you. Now, how do we convert them when they visit your page or your website? So the first thing you should know that even for you and for all of us, um, most of us struggle, having attention or keeping attention. You have this notification coming up on your phone, you look at it, you have another story, you perhaps even have, you are split between going on Twitter to talk about politics, uh, or searching for a certain topic, and you're split to go look at Edgar Obare's stories. So your attention span is very small. In fact, human attention span is close to 8 seconds. You are in full concentration for only 8 seconds. That is less than a goldfish, which is 9. So you can imagine if you are a business wanting to attract people and you have a website, um, how many human beings with 8 seconds can be captured by you? And that's a very hard question to ask, right? So one of the ways in which we can keep um, customers engaged and how AI can help us is AI can help customers be engaged when they visit our business pages and our sites. By an example would be creating a bot to engage customers and serve them. So he's let's put a scenario as an example. Uh, uh, where you're selling something online, you're selling stationaries, and you supply stationaries to schools, you supply them to offices, and now we a user like me has already gotten to your website. Now they find you. Okay, what is next? So the best way to do this and how AI is able to facilitate this is you're able to create a bot that can respond to your customers. And the best way is once somebody lands on your page, you have a notification in form of a bell ring or just a pop-up notification that is customized by you, right? Like, hi there. Um, would you like to order some stationaries for books on ABC and D? We have an offer, right? So it's already trying to do the sales pitch for you and close you in and help close in your customers for you, right? So, and that is a bot that, 24/7, you and I go back to sleep, but the bot does not sleep. It keeps on engaging customers 24/7. And if it's powered by machine learning, then that means it's able to understand what are the user needs. If it's having a conversation with the customer, it's able to see the likelihood of a certain product being ordered online as opposed to any other way. So it's able to give us the intelligence that we have. And the more it interacts with customers, the more it understands the trends that we have. And that is an easier way to acquire customers, because now us with an attention span of goldfish, 8 seconds, in 8 seconds, if I visit your website and I immediately have a pop-up and a ring, a small ring, and I have a pop-up form that is able to help me engage, you have saved me the time of going through 7 pages in your beautiful website to make a decision on if I should close you in on a business or not. So suddenly, this technical tool is able to immediately engage me. And I do not need to, I only need to request or make a request or make an inquiry if your website has what I need. I need 16, I need a box of 20 boxes of A4 books. Good. What else do you need? Here are the prices, but we have an offer on this, so don't worry. And that's about uh, coming back to a customer. That already gives you an ability to close in on a customer within our 8 seconds period, because you're giving them what they want. So that is an example of how AI is used to acquire. I was going to talk on bots. Now that we have chosen bots as a tool that we can use to acquire customers, right? How are we able to set it up? Right, we've talked about these beautiful bots that can engage a customer for a while and enable us to acquire these customers. So how do you go about it as an SME? I'd say the first thing is you choose a bot tool or a platform to build from. So one thing you should know that, as you know, when when we talk about SMEs, we talk about in the context that you cannot come and pull off um, and make a whole team of machine learning engineers and data scientists to do all this. The best that you can do to leverage this technology is the ability for you to pick the best tool, like a tool on machine learning that is very good at one task and learns from your data and is able to make you to benefit your SME, right? So as an example here, we already have bot platforms that are artificially intelligent, that have artificial intelligence on top of them. So that means you do not need to build your bot and train it and test it the way a machine learning engineer or a data scientist would. The only thing you have to do is to set it up, right? So another thing you have to do when you want to implement a bot at your website is determine the role of the bot. Determine what that bot is for. Is the bot just used to inform people about the company and what it does? Is the bot, you know, does the bot help you quickly acquire customers? Customers can easily make an order or get you to get the customer an appointment or booking a demo to talk to you? Or is the bot just a simple help desk? If someone is having a challenge, they can quickly chat with the bot, and their issues can be logged if they're very difficult and cannot be solved by the robot itself, by the bot itself. It can ideally, reach out to you, right? So after doing that, please, the next step will be create content and design the bot's personality. You already know what your brand represents, and now it's time to share or keep the same brand with the AI bot that we are introducing, right? So give it the company's personality. If your SME is hippie and playful, you target teenagers and young lads, then make the bot a bit more cheerful and easy and exciting with a couple of colors. If you are targeting um, corporate customers, you try to equally adjust and to suitability. Also, something else is, you know, enable metrics from customer engagements. What that means is enable the bot to be able to learn, um, to give you feedback on their customers, in terms of, um, you know, how are you engaging with your customers? How is it in place? How has someone used the website? What is the most requested item so far? So if the bot can be able to pick all that and give you feedback, then you're able to acquire more customers by servicing them very fast. So if it's an informed desk, you're able to inform them fast. So you get them closer to making a decision to deal or to buy your service. Another one will be signing them up, letting them buy directly from you. Another one will be helping them uh, solve problems that they're encountering while using your platform. So another one will be the next step would be how can AI help us to keep customers engaged with our business, right? How do we enable, how do we make sure this customer is able to enjoy um, our services and still come back? What can we learn? How can AI enable us uh, learn from this customer so that we can keep them engaged? So we've already spoken of one will be, build bots on the website and social media. I think we've already talked about that. Another one will be, you know, choose a tool that is a very smart customer relationship management system, a CRM. So a CRM is essentially a tool or a platform where we can record our sales and our progress with a certain client, right? So it's almost like a record to check the relationship between us, the company, and the customer that we have, right? So we have some existing tools that are really good at customer relationship management that are smart enough to give you insights on customers' sentiments that you might need while you are running your business. So another would another example would be when we are able to keep the customers engaged, we are able to have discoveries of their problems, right? So we should have to keep the customer engaged. We need to have a machine learning system that is able to enable us collect data um, and perhaps profile the user for to understand their interest and see how we can make it better, right? So another thing that it helps us is we have the ability to, by doing that, by collecting and getting user interest data, we're able to anticipate problems, yeah, like customer feedback. So a good example, and people would say I love to hate on Zuku, but I really do not hate Zuku. I just find their service a bit lagging. So Zuku as a case study is when you call it the Zuku case study or the Zuku example is when you you have an internet issue and Zuku does not contact you to tell you what the issue is. And when you call them, they'll only nobody might pick up, or someone might pick up and tell you, we are working on it. And you tell them what is the problem, they cannot give you feedback on what the problem is. Then that's where we coined the term, that's a Zuku example or a Zuku experience. Um, Now let us reimagine if for a moment Zuku was using a smart CRM, right? And its system was, had machine learning to it. What will ideally happen is when when we have customer information, or feedback out of disruption in a certain area, we should already have information on why are we having that disruption. Then once the system is able to check and see any disruptions, it's able to quickly know what is the location and how many customers do we have there who might be affected by this disruption, and or um, simply automate a customer feedback in form of a text, and also estimate how long it will take to solve a certain problem. It will be very easy if you got a phone call being told, sorry for the disruption. We are having an issue ABCD. The issue is this, one of our fiber cables was cut by someone, so we need to come do a replacement. So, yes, so imagine Azuku and how it will not have lost to Safaricom by on its market share. And so rethink again as an SME, what is it that your business is missing out if it does not apply some form of intelligence on its operations, right? So the other part that the fourth part in which we are to speak of is marketing your business with AI, right? And we all know marketing's purpose is you know, how are we able to reach out to more customers and how are we able to reach out to potential customers, right? How are we able to bring in new people and how are we able to also reach out to or get the attention of um, to customers, to your business. So another thing that AI can also help you is increasing your brand awareness. Um, how are people able to identify you? What is unique about you, and what should you focus on? Another thing that AI is able to help us is increasing brand loyalty. Um, if we look at first of all, let us discuss and agree that Facebook is among one of the biggest marketing websites that exist on earth right now. And out of that, look at Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, the taste the feeling brand, where we see so many advertisements on our TV and also social media. Do you know Coca-Cola is one of the highest paying customers for Facebook? It is among one of the highest paying customers um, to Facebook, which is a marketing place. And now we wonder why um, Coca-Cola has always been great as a brand. Um, and they're able to coin different terminologies like taste the feeling. And we hold so much brand loyalty. You go out in the sun, you just want a soft drink, you remember taste the feeling, and now you go ahead and buy Coca-Cola. Not that it's something that you really, a soda that you really like. You perhaps do not even drink soda, but just because you there's a sense of brand loyalty that you've had for so many years about that product that you might not even be aware of. How are they able to do that? They're able to push their marketing so much in Facebook, and out of the feedback that they get there, they're able to understand, to craft their branding and how they get to us, right? So let's us look at other implementations of this marketing. So the first one is you can decide to pay for advertisements as an SME and use platforms like Google AdWords. Basically, in AdWords is where how this tool operates is you are able to be ranked. People can easily find you. Now you pay your money to be discovered and for your ads to be there. Have you ever had an example where you you just go ahead and type a certain item like let's say you want to best apps for the meal, best app for meal delivery or home delivery. Before you get to a certain page, there are this with a different font. You see these little links coming up before the main website. It will have all these mini links that pop up. These mini links are AdWords. They are paid. There are people who've paid Google for you to discover them, for them to be marketed and to be found. Another part is where you pay for advertisement is Facebook, where you have Facebook business, and you're able to create marketing marketing cycles where you're able to target people in a specific location. You're able to target people according to simply demographics and also usage. And it's also able to give you information on how your content is interacting with others. And that's why Facebook is very good at as a marketing company than it is a technology company, right? So there another example in which this is also being marketing is also getting better is Mailchimp. So Mailchimp, what they do is they enable you to advertise or share content to directly on email to your customers who signed up for your emails. So MailChimp is able to also learn and understand the contents in which users when they open their email, what when they open that your mail, do they finally make a decision to buy or not, right? So another one will be personalized feedback, like chatbots, where we spoke of if you have a personalized bot, then um, you're able to personalize feedback on how people should get back to you. You're able to improve your marketing in that sense. So let us look at an example or in so we can see how this actually works. Um, Here we go. So this is what we when people create AI systems on marketing. This is usually what happens to you. So, ladies here, if you've bought a handbag, this is probably on Instagram after discussing it with your friend for some time, and you find yourself buying it at a certain store from Instagram, and you're excited. This is probably how that bag you made a decision of buying that bag, right? And maybe it wasn't a bag you're planning to, you just liked it, and we made it easy for you to get it. We call it, uh, we call it, you speak it and the universe will make it happen. But these days you speak it and Google and Facebook will make it happen. So what happens is when we do marketing, right? When we do marketing for systems, you have customer interactions, and you need to keep your customers engaged in order for them to come by from you again. So in a marketing cycle is we we first share content, smart content that we feel might interest you, right? And we keep on sharing them in a constant manner. So day to day, you're receiving information. Suddenly, you start to see similar. If you are talking to your friend about that bag, or you've been googling that bag for a while, so what happens when you go to Instagram? We start showing you stores, different stores that sell handbags. Then the next thing, so that is where we start doing smart content curation. We introduce content that is close to what you have been looking at, right? Then we tend to do the programmatic media bidding. That means we keep on enticing you to buy. So you have one store, you see another store, right? And we try to also understand what are some of the prices. Let's say if we showed you 2 or 3 bags and you seem to save okay Kwanza. So if you have an interest in buying that bag and you seem to only save um one part, you seem to save the bags that are going for 2,000, 3,000 there, then the AI or the marketing tool behind it, the machine learning tool made for AI, made for marketing, is able to understand this is the 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 content in which you're able to push out to you, right? This is the content we need to push out to you. So if they're looking at something around 2000, 3000, then make sure they're able to see more of that. Now, at that point, the machine learning tool is actually curating the type of content that is showing you, the type of bags. You went from looking at different stores of bags to saving the bags that are around 2000 to 3000, and now it is pushing for ads similar or close to that bag. That means it has learned you want a bag that is close to 2000, 3000. So it's going to show you, it's going to rate that content and show you that, right? So what happens after that is you get to a point where you're able to buy, you make the first purchase. Finally, you've ordered, and that, the ad targeting has worked to you. And now you've made the first purchase, right? So when you make the first purchase, the next step after you've already acted is we get to the conversion part. Now, the conversion part is now when we decide, okay, is he going to buy this bag again or any other bags again, or now they are not going to buy a bag again? So you either become a repeat customer, which is okay, or you become an indecisive customer. So the goal for the marketing tool is to make sure you become a repeat customer, right? So what happens is that it retargets you again. So you've been gone for a while, for 2 or 3 months after you've bought the bag. Then what pops up? The next thing that pops up is an offer of a similar bag to you. So you bought it at 100%, it was 3,000 shillings. Right now, you get an advertisement of 30 or 40% off, right? Of a similar bag like that. So that means that the machine learning tool has retargeted you, right? And it has personalized you in the sense that it knows you want to buy a bag around that budget of 2000 to 3000. Therefore, it influences, it curates again content of dynamic pricing. That means it now gives you an offer, a better offer than the previous one on the same or similar bag. So when you are in this an indecisive customer, guess what? You're going to buy that bag again. You're going to buy that bag again. And now finally it's able to engage you. Now on the last phase of engagement is when you you get what we call referral coupons or codes. You've been there for a while and now you're being told, you can refer your friends so that they can buy the same bag like you did. Now they're converting you into loyalty for you to now become a loyal customer. And that is how a marketing tool works. That is how good it is. And it's able to make sure a majority of us are able to keep on buying items. And so, yes, having said that, let us move to the next phase. Now that I've showed you how you how you find yourself buying that favorite bag. Another example, which I think we've already comprehensively spoken about, is Facebook advertisement. Now, this one is the easiest as I can quickly get on it. When you advertise your items on or your services on Facebook, and you're able to narrow down to the demographics, the location, and the type of users you want to target. And Facebook, in other words, is able to know over time who put it out there as a paid advertisement, then be able to trace or see what's your audience, who are looking at your website, who's looking at your content. Um, So I think I've already spoken of this, the ability to target, the target precision of your market. You know, how do we, how include how you will target your users. So I think this is something you now need to sit down as an SME, now that you've learned the power behind these tools. And this tool that we're talking of, marketing and AI, is just an example of how Instagram, through Facebook, which is a Facebook tool, combine it by Google, other words, will otherwise influence how you make a decision, and how your customers interact with items. Now, instead of us, we cannot make this system as SMEs, but we can leverage this system. All right, we can leverage it so that we can use it, um, instead of us building it from scratch. So one is Facebook advertisements, the other one is Google AdWords. And so the only work for you as an SME is you sit down and write, how are you going to target your users? Uh, Look at where will you find them? How will you deliver value to them? Are they offline or online? How do you deliver your value? Then the first thing you should do, how are you going to benefit, from doing so, so that you can know how much you're using. If I'm paying for Google advertisements, I should be able to get a considerable audience if I'm paying 2,000 for this per month, 3,000, to have targeted advertisements in on a week-to-week basis, right? So you know what this one brings to you. Then you make a decision on the right tool based off how you're going to deliver value. Whom are you targeting? Who is your customer that you can use? Now, having said all that, I wanted us to close on this implementation by making you a little bit more sensitive on data, because the majority of this is data, and you will even be using your customer data as an SME to conduct this. So it's important for us to brush through a little bit of ethics. So first of all, um, you know that even if your customer has shared information with you, that is their information. So do not try to sell their data in any way. The second thing is the transaction of transparency. Be be ready to express to customers that you are using their data to perhaps target them on any, or to target them, or in neat form, be able to tell them like, hey, we are using Facebook, and they would already know if you're using Facebook to advertise, then Facebook is collecting data for you. So there is a transparency in what you're doing as an SME when you're using customer data. Another one is consent. Remember when companies are able to tell you, agree to the terms, and most of us do not even read the policy and agreement section. So we never know. We just take off. So in the same way, make your customers, um, you know, aware of the personal data they are sharing, and that you're going to use it. So that is in services. When you are doing this, let's say if you are using a mobile application by yourself, like let's say to deliver foods, let them know that you're using this platform, and by doing business with you, you're able to use their data to give them personalized or customized experiences. Another one is privacy. Make sure you keep privacy when customers, transact with you, when suppliers transact with you. Make sure you have privacy in your data. Also, it's also these days it's becoming a huge thing, which is you need, if you're making money off customers' data, you should be aware, you should be able to make them aware that you're benefiting from keeping their data. But now this is arguable in the sense that you are probably, as a business, you have you can reserve the right as an entity not to say how you are using their data to make your revenue, as long as it is ethical, as long as you're not selling their data to a malicious actor. Another one is just openness. There is lots of be very open within the organization to transfer data among yourself as an entity. Put your data together, put all the put your data together, put different departments to have a sense of openness in uh, in the data that is being shared within the organization, and also what you're collecting outside. So having said that, I will be very happy to uh, you know unmute, have you guys unmute or share feedback. I only have two questions. What are you looking forward to implement in your business? Yeah, or how to use machine learning as a subset of AI in your business, and what path are you looking to take it? I know some of you might already have existing SMEs, and in that you want to do a few things with it. So I would like to know, because you only have two, so only two people currently right now. So I'd like you guys to speak up. And so Maggie, you can unmute, or Mandy, you can unmute and perhaps answer my question. What are you looking forward to with this? Also share your sentiments on what you've learned today that you found interesting, that you did not know, and now you are aware of it, right? So if you are in a place that you cannot express that, you can quickly just write it in the chat. We'll be able to have a conversation. So who is going first with my question, or who is going first in just expressing what they've learned so far today, or anything interesting that they've gotten out of this? Mende? Maggie, what about you?
No, I was just curious. Thanks for the info. Sorry, I joined with waterway because I had another engagement.
Okay.
However, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. I'm supposed to run the business at the same time, take advantage of
Pardon?
such. It's a bit overwhelming because I'm expected to run my business at the same time, understand AI and how to take advantage of such technology to get my customers. So, what would you recommend so that either I'm able to still focus on my business at the same time, take advantage of this?
All right.
That's
Mhm.
so far.
Okay, so I would ask, what business are you in, if you may share?
I'm a producer, a farmer.
Okay, you are a farmer. Interesting. I should have shared the slide on Busire and an example of machine learning in farming. But anyway, I would say that I would understand your position on this, and that is why the reason why we came up with this program for SMEs to use machine learning was not in a way to overwhelm you in any way, although I would understand it's a new topic to you, but it's equally a technology that you seem to be interested in implementing. So what we will do during the bootcamp is we will show you the tools. We do not want you to build the tools. We want you to use the existing tools so you can better your business, right? So what we will do is we will simply handhold you. What data do you want? How are you thinking of using this technology? Then we will show you how to use the tool so that so that you automate some of the processes, you benefit from the technology without having to learn all that there is on the tool. Ideally, you just want to know, we just want you to be sensitive of what the topic is and what the technology is, then quickly get you to start, pick up a tool and use it for your business, and that's about it.
Right. So it's interesting you're saying you will teach us in the boot camp. So does it mean there are future sessions?
Pardon? If there are future sessions?
I've heard you mentioning
Oh,
you're going to take
okay.
us through in boot camp. So I wasn't aware there's more boot camping sessions.
Ah, ah, ah.
Mm.
Okay. So there are training sessions from this boot camp. Perhaps I'm just used to calling it boot camp, so you might forgive me. But ideally, what we do is, after we've introduced this boot camp to you and you're aware of the technology and its implementation in business, we have a follow-up where we allow you to sign up. So that you sign up, we will help you through choosing what is the best tool for your business, and we'll even use your data or your business operations in order for you to start using the technology. So there is a training session after this bootcamp.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it has a cost attached to it?
Yes, it has a cost attached to it. Joanne will go ahead and express that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, allow me to. Hi, team. Apologies, I'd stepped away briefly for another meeting, for another Zoom, which is actually currently learning. Coach, maybe you'd want to update me. I can see you have really advanced. As a matter of fact, you have finished. That is
Yes.
good.
Yes. So, so I've taken them through the implementations of AI, including from keeping customer engagement and moving traffic to get people on their content. So I was asking if there is the next step after this, because I mentioned the other sessions from this bootcamp. And so I was telling her we have a whole other session, a training session, where we get to handhold her into how she can use AI tools to improve her business. So I just wanted you to come in and express and talk about that program. She was asking questions around the course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I need to share something just briefly. That means we'll have to stop you from sharing your screen. Okay, thank you. Can see that. Sorry, my desktop is a bit crowded. So first of all, thank you so much for attending the Entrepreneurs Bootcamp. As we are progressing, it might seem slow, but immediately we are able to demonstrate a particular change, a particular impact on artificial intelligence for small businesses, then it will roll like a snowball down a hill. What do I mean by that? So for example, right now, and this I'm sharing with you as a team that is currently here engaging us in understanding artificial intelligence at your particular business industry, is we have so far trained more than 500 students through 4 cohorts in the last about 8 months. And we have gone further and demonstrated the proof of concept that artificial intelligence is able to be implemented in diverse industries. As a matter of fact, we have even gone further just to show that artificial intelligence will affect even the people who do not understand programming or coding. And that is why, the people who joined us since yesterday, I still explain this, and this is why we're doing what we're doing. So we have newly diverged to artificial intelligence for small businesses. So we're trying to see how do we get into the small businesses space and help small businesses start not only understanding, but implementing artificial intelligence tools in their businesses. So right now we are at the phase where we want to see that transition. We want to see it not only from our end, we want you to see it. So that while you leave this class at the end of the day, you're able to see the difference for the time before you applied artificial intelligence to the time you applied. As a matter of fact, we have gone very specific. We are not using concepts. We are using your businesses to prove this, to use it as a proof of concept. All right. So this is the reason that we are holding a 6-week course. Now, in this 6-week course that you can see there on the screen, let's leave alone the small dollars, because that is, trust me, it's one of the most affordable courses on the online, space, and it gives much more. Its value is more than $1,000. That you can take that to the bank while as you get to the end of that particular 6-week course. But as you said, we want to reach to as many people as possible. Even if we train one person, that is okay. If we can demonstrate and show that artificial intelligence can improve small businesses, then that to us means the world. All right. So just to take you through the content of the class. Number one, the model of the class, the way we are going to deliver that one would be through a learning management system, because we understand we are dealing with people who are busy. Okay, we understand you do not have, most of you are possibly running businesses, you're busy running businesses, or you're in other organizations, you're working. When you come from work, you're tired. So what we do, we make sure that the content that we create not only weekly, but we upload it in advance and you access it in advance. You access it when you have time. That is one of the key things that we do. But of course, we manage the process. So we set deadlines. For example, as you keep on learning, we make sure that you submit your assignments, etc. And then we give you quizzes. We give you, your quizzes are timed virtually. And then, of course, also there are deadlines to that. And then at the end of the day, we make sure that whatever you have learned, you are able to apply to your business. So that will be part of the assignment and the learning process. So not only that, we schedule a one-on-one coach, session, where you book a session with the coach, and you bring up any concerns, any issues, anything you want to understand better. We do that at least once in every 2 weeks. So by the end of the program, you'd have interacted with your coach at least 3 times. So you don't have to go all the way 3 times. Some of you might interact with them once, some of you might not even interact. You might understand the material that is there. But at the end of the day, what do we want to see? We want to see how we want to help your businesses, because here we are not using anyone else's business. We are using your business. If you don't have a business, we'll of course challenge you to go and get a business of a friend or the organization you're working in or a department. So we'll show you how to collect data. If you do not have a business at all, so you'll go to your M-Pesa statement, that is data, and we'll challenge you to collect and input that data. All we want is to show you the process that you will take with your businesses to collect data, because without data, there is no artificial intelligence. If you don't understand that process, you cannot move forward. So that will be our first interaction with you. Not only that, then we will help you use artificial intelligence marketing tools to try and identify your customers, where they hang out, how to structure your business or what tools you've been using before and how not to spend more, but get more from what you're doing as a result of artificial intelligence. So we go further also and help you understand your customers from the time they engage with your products to the time they leave. And we're going to use test customers for this as you continue using your artificial intelligence tools. So all this process that we're doing, we're going to be doing live using your businesses. But other than that, also because your business will involve either employing or interacting with people, we're also going to show you how HR and business automation can help you scale and make you, understand your business more in a way that you can automate so many processes without having to spend an extra coin. So at the end of it, artificial intelligence is can be applied both ways. It can be applied for good and for harm. It just depends what your intention is. But of course, at Tech Mindset Africa, we insist that we apply artificial intelligence for good, because if you're going to cause harm or destruction, so of what what would be your intention to bring down a society instead of prospering it? Because at the end of the day, you want to economically empower your community, you want to economically empower your family, you want to economically power businesses so that we all get into one network using artificial intelligence and create prosperities for our generations to come. Because if we destroy people right now, where will our children land? Where will they go to? To whom will they look up to? Right? So of course, then we take you through how to handle data safely, how to handle AI safely, how to implement it ethically, etc., etc. So at the end of the day, what are we saying? All this and more is able to be, you're able now to understand it from a point of application. And this is where we charge only $55. So at $55, that's 5,500 Kenya shillings. At $55, you're able to learn all this, use your business, use case scenarios, see results firsthand, and understand internally, so that at the end of the day, when you leave here, you don't even have to apply it today. But when the change is here, when you see your competitors doing it, when you realize your customers are asking for it, or you realize your customers are being elusive, you can get down to business and apply artificial intelligence without asking further questions. And that is our objective. And that's the information that I think the coach needed me to share. And I will be glad if you have any questions moving forward. Thank you. Would we be having any question? Any question from the team? Okay, yes, Maggie, I will share with you the course content to your emails, all right, so that you're able to familiarize yourself with it. The recordings, absolutely. So as a matter of fact, then I should stop recording so that it can start uploading. So if you don't have any question moving forward, we'll be happy to release you and to thank you very much for taking a chance with us. I will contact each one of you personally with a survey also, so that we can understand how to improve our content. And also how to make your experiences better. And yes, thank you for that question, Maggie. Yes, we offer installment options. All right, we offer 3 options. You can pay in full, 5,500, or you can pay in 2 installments. You just divide the figure by 2, or you can pay in 3 installments, where you divide the figure by 3. At the end of the day, as long as you're able to go through the experience, then we allow you to at least pay by the 6th week in full. And I believe that's about 2 months is flexible enough for you to plan with your finances, of course, and make this investment. By then, you would have seen a lot happening with your business. All right. Yes, Mr. Mende, I will share with you the content to your email. I'm so glad that each one of you got to attend the session with us. So unless the coach has anything else. Yes, we have 3 SMEs that are going through the course. As a matter of fact, they're collecting data right now. Right now, they're in the process of collecting data. How have they implemented the learnings? They are implementing as we speak, because the last cohort started, I think, Coach, it's 3 weeks ago, right? Coach Weaver, can you hear me? Or my laptop has gone to the same problem. Can anyone hear me? Anyone can unmute and confirm if they can hear me? Oh, okay, yes, you can hear me. Great. I don't know why today I'm not able to hear you, but please put on the chat as much as you can. So the SMEs right now. Oh, thank you. The SMEs right now are implementing, and that is why you're saying we are rolling this out. We want to see the change. We want to see the change from a person who does not know how to collect data to them collecting data, analyzing it, and creating or making decisions as a result. And also how they're implementing their learnings. So for every course, at the end of every course, there's an exercise. So with the exercise, then they're challenged to, move forward and implement that particular learning using their businesses. So at first, we asked them to do a video to nominate a company. So this is the process where you nominate a company. It could be yours, it could be someone else's, or it could be one you have just registered. So you want to start from the beginning. That is okay. But whatever you do, we ask you to nominate a company. So once you nominate a company, then you go through the courses, you go through the lessons, and use your own company to implement what the coach or what the content is asking you to do. So that is the process that you're going through. So by the end, for another 3.5 weeks, we should see the results of the first cohort. So if you start your cohorts, at least this week, we register you in the learning management system. From next week, you begin the journey. You begin the journey of applying artificial intelligence tools. For business at ideation stage, yes. As a matter of fact, this is the right time to begin. This is the time where you're at the ideation. Just make sure you have a business name. If you don't have, don't worry. You can use your ideation stage. You can use someone else's business, all right? You can use someone else's business as you learn how to do it for your business. So you can talk to a friend, a colleague, a partner, and tell them, can I use your business to get through this course? So once they agree, as long as you have a case study or you have a case that you're working with, you are good to go. So whether you're at ideation, whether you are just thinking about it, or whether you're at an advanced stage in your business, this will work for you. Maggie, I hope I've answered you. Okay, thank you. So thank you very much. Allow me to get back to my other meeting. Coach, thank you very much for the session. As usual, we really appreciate you, especially for the content that you bring to play in the most understandable way. And guys, trust me, Mr. Weaver is the best we have out there in terms of artificial intelligence. He has implemented this to small businesses himself, and he has seen this work over and over again. So I have no doubt we have the best in the in the team, and whatever journey that you're going to take with us, at least our goal is to make sure that your expectations are met. And that is why we are very keen to share the forms with you at the beginning. Whether you're going to be 2, whether you're going to be 10, the beauty is you will be the benchmark to the other SME courses that we are going to have, right? We are talking to different companies that hold SMEs. So, but you see, they need to see what is happening. So if you become the benchmark, you never know, you never know how far you will move with your business. You might be making presentations, you might be the mentors of these other SMEs. So there's a lot of opportunity in this space. And that is why I'm urging you, just try and find time, make the investment and go through the process. That is all we're asking from you. So once you make that decision, the decision is yours. I'm sure you have seen the possibilities, and that was our objective. We wanted you to see the possibilities and understand how AI could impact your business and, drive you towards profitability. So we'd urge you now to take the next step and go through the process, because you cannot prove this if you don't go through the process. Okay, so allow me to hand back over to the coach. And once again, thank you very much for attending the session since yesterday and for your patience. We really do appreciate you. Asanteni sana. I will contact each and every one of you tomorrow for any further clarifications or any questions. Asanteni.